What's up, everybody? It is Drop Gems. You're joining me for another gem. We're going to drop another gem together. And today it is on Silver Bullet, 1985. Silver Bullet, a werewolf movie. Yes, Stephen King's Silver Bullet. Um, I'm going to give my thoughts, of course, spoilers ahead. You know the deal. Give my thoughts on the movie. Then we'll go through the plot my way. And then we'll wrap this awesome movie rant up. This is an awesome movie rant on this movie. You got to see it. Watch this old school movie. Like I said, 1985. They still do it then. They still do horror. They still do kills in this movie. It's one of the best werewolf movies you're gonna see to this day, and that's just hands down. We got Corey Haim here, young Corey Haim and Gary Busey. I want to mention Corey Haim. He's just a wonderful actor. I love Corey Haim. Always did, always will. Rip, God rest his soul. Corey Haim. He's in this movie. He does a great job. You buy him as a paraplegic. You buy him being scared. You buy him as a hero too, wanting to also help and fight and save the townspeople from this werewolf that's going around killing, slaughtering everyone. That's everyone. Oh, what a great fucking story, good directing. Now it's the way that where the movie lacks is the werewolf. I mean, the werewolf. You barely see the werewolf, etc. You know, even when you do see him, it's pretty corny. So it's pretty shitty when it comes to that. But what are you gonna do, man? It's back in '85. Gotta give him credit for giving good actors and good story, and the actors make it believable, guys. The town too is a good feel to it. You can relate to the town, the feel of the town, the atmosphere of the town. You can relate to some of the characters as well. There's some good dynamics there, some good dialogue, some good interactions between these characters throughout the film. So it'll keep you interested and keep you watching for however time it runs. I know it's probably only an hour and 30 minutes or what have you, but 95 minutes. So an hour and a half you should spend with this movie, spend with Corey Haim, spend with some werewolf action guys. They create suspense of the werewolf without even seeing the werewolf. So I like that part. And there's, like I said, it's a couple of one of the two of the kills are kind of corny, but because of the werewolf costume or what have you, the werewolf effects, if you want to say. So, but they did their best with the budget I'm sure they had. What was the budget? Of course, the budget was only 7 million, and it makes 12 million, 5.4 million in North American. I'm guessing that was come from Canada release or Canadian release, what have you, or overseas release, what have you. I doubt that. But anyways, comes out with some money, losing money, and now it's a cult classic here. It says Wikipedia, and it should be in its rightful place. So let's get into this wrap up and do the plot. Um, yeah, so you get Silver Bullet here, right? You start out with meeting a townsfolk that is doing work on a train track. He's out there doing work. When he's doing his work, he hears noises in the bushes. Eventually, he is decapitated by a swinging paw with sharp nails, and his head flies off onto the tracks. Since he was working on the tracks and he was drunk at the time, the townsfolk and the police officers decide that it was an accidental death because his body was ran over by the train as well that night. So, it's hard to tell what really, hey, it's a train that decapitated him, smashed him up, and ate him and shit. Fine. Okay. So that's cool. And then it clicks into having a parade here at this town, Tarker's Mill, I believe, or something like that. And it's the name of the town. You meet Jane here, excuse me, Jane and Marty, their brother and sister. Marty cannot walk; he's in a wheelchair, and she helps her brother all the time. That's her right hand man, is her sister. He plays a prank on his sister with his friend Brady, I think, and doesn't go too well with a snake. Sister gets pissed, gets all dirty. That part really gets to me, when she gets dirty twice, falls in the mud. I kind of relate to that because I think it's happened to me twice before school one time. Some bullies will do that. A family member actually did it, just like in the movie. So there you go, telling the truth, right? And you know, anyways, that happens. She's really upset. She doesn't help Marty at all that day to get out of the car, do anything. So what happens is he comes that night to her and makes up with her, gives her some money for some new clothes or what have you that he dirtied. She accepts his apology. That night, there was a teacher that Miss Jane here overheard at the parade talking to a boyfriend or what have you, a lover of hers, telling this lover that she was pregnant. And the lover had nothing to do with the baby, told her to get rid of it, or what have you. So she goes home, and you shoot to her at home, and she's trying to abort the baby with some pills or what have you. And the werewolf comes in and kills her boom, and it's a great kill, guys. There's a lot of screaming and a lot of yelling. It's really chaotic. You don't know, the imagination will do the rest. But I like how they don't really show. They do show the werewolf in a glimpse, and it's okay because they do it fast, and you buy it. So fuck it, it keeps you going at this point. So the local sheriff and the deputy there, like, oh, damn, they might need some help because it's only him and him, the two guys here to do this. They might need some help. We're calling some out of towners, but the sheriff don't want to do that because I mean, it looks bad on him, like he can't handle the town. Anyways, Marty here the next day after school. It's the last day of school. Summer is kicking in. Marty drives home, so to speak, a girl on a bike, a friend of his, and past the house where this murder occurred just like the other night, and of this woman teacher. And they knew the teacher, of course, and she's dead. And they go by. It's pretty creepy. It's all boarded up and shit. Cops are out there. She takes this chick home, right? This chick tells Marty that there's noises coming from this shed area, this greenhouse that they have, and she points it out. And anyways, the dad's a fucking asshole, and he's a fucking, you want this dude to get it, so he's gonna get what's coming to him. Anyways, he calls his daughter in like a dumb jerk, and then fucking, writes a joke on Marty. Anyways, it's stupid shit. And he goes home or whatever. And that night, the dad hears noises coming out from the greenhouse. He goes out to investigate with a shotgun. He gets fucking plastered. He gets wrecked, dragged through the floor, and eaten up. And that's it for him. Another murder. Marty hears about this. He loses his little friend there. Of course, she's out of town after her dad got murked in the greenhouse or whatever. Anyways, the cops are even more of an uproar. So is the town, guys. The town is shitting their pants. They want to get together and riot. They want to get something done. So they're like, listen, we're gonna go out when the moon is full or whatever. This is when this fucker strikes, and we're all gonna go out with our guns and kill him in the woods. I don't know why he would be in the woods, but anyways, they're gonna go in the woods and just kill this fucker all around town, kill him. Anyways, the sheriff comes and says, you can't take the law into your own hands. It's vigilantism. I am the law. You listen to me. You go home. This guy, that, excuse me, I jumped ahead because somebody else was murdered in between this. There's a couple murders happening, and the little boy, Marty's friend, also was killed, guys. His friend was killed flying a kite, and he stood over a little bit too late when the sun went down, the moon got full, and the murder happened there. And so the child Brady, at the beginning of the movie, was, a little bit later on, is killed. So Marty's devastated as well, goes to his funeral and all that shit. So after this, the town has had enough. You know that. You can't kill kids. That's for sure. You shouldn't. Any kill anyone. So these people are done with this shit. They're hunting this fucker down. And they go to their trucks and everything, and the local priest comes out, comes running down the block, tells them, no, don't do this. This is not the way, Anyways, he tries to, appeal to the sheriff. Of course, the sheriff's like, this is what you wanted, right? This is what you're talking about, Mr. Priest, getting together, Townsfolk, ain't it cool? Anyways, so you get to the point where basically the town goes out, they go to the woods, the werewolf here, see that corny ass shit, attacks the townspeople and kills like 4 or 5 of them, guys. Kills them. So the town's just, after this, the town is silent. They're in a state of uh, hmm, they're in a state of, I don't know. They're just in a state of shock. I don't know what it is. They're just quiet now. They did, and Marty here. His 4th of July is ruined because of this, because of these murders. It's a big fucking deal, right? Anyways, so Mr. Busey here tells Marty, here's some fireworks. Do the fireworks right at night, because since the 4th of July was canceled for you. So Mr. Busey's a cool uncle. He's cool like that. So Marty goes out one late night to do the fireworks near a bridge with some water under it. He does it. The werewolf sees him, takes the opportunity to try to kill Marty. Marty gets away by shooting the werewolf in the eye with one of the fireworks. He goes home in a frantic state. He barely sleeps that night. Wakes up, tells his sister what happened. His sister goes to town looking for this one-eyed person because Marty knows he shot the werewolf in one eye, so he must be missing an eye. The sister doesn't see anyone. No one in town has a missing eye. She goes back with her goods to the local church, to drop them off. Guess who's out there? The priest. And guess who has one eye? Yep, Mr. Priest Boy here. He has one eye. So, yeah, it's a good one. And you're like, oh shit, because he's this respected and loved member of the community. No one would believe what he is and what he is doing out there. Only they know. So she knows. She's confronted by him at one point, but not about his eye, but about something else. She's just in fear from him. You're just trembling right at this point. You want her to get the fuck out of there. She does. She tells Marty. Marty's like, well, we got to tell, somebody. We got to tell my uncle. So she tells the uncle or what have you, right? And the uncle don't believe it. Takes him by, spy on him. He's just doing his thing. And anyways, Marty the next day is doing his thing, watching a baseball game, and he's really sad over it. Of course, we know why. They invite Marty out. Marty says no, thanks. He wants to go home. He does in his motorized silver bullet wheelchair that Mr. Busey here built for him in a cool scene. And he gets to fire that sucker up, and he hits the road. He burns some rubber, but right behind him is Mr. Priest here. Mr. Priest, Mr. Werewolf, is following Marty. He knows Marty knows because Marty had an idea. Since nobody wanted to do nothing, Marty started to send letters to this fucker, threatening letters, and he knew where they came from. He knew it was Marty. And anyways, so he follows Marty, and he confronts Marty on a bridge, and he's gonna kill Marty. And he says some really crazy shit. It's good dialogue for him. I don't know, it just works. He's scary. Without being a werewolf, he's more scary at this point. He threatens Marty. Marty is very scared, but somebody comes to save Marty at that time. So the priest is out of there. Somebody shows up, and Marty's able to call for help and get this man's attention to get him off the bridge. And the priest is out of there. He hits the bricks. He's gone. And this is the point where Marty and the sister really have to tell the uncle what happened and prove it. They prove it by showing the uncle the wheelchair and the blue scrape marks from his blue car, and they take it to the police. Busey takes it to the police basically and tells the police, the head sheriff, about Mr. Priest here being the killer. Actually tells him that he might be a werewolf, but he tells him the truth, and that's what you do. So the sheriff rolls with it. He checks out the priest. The priest isn't there. He goes to a shed, and yeah, the priest is there. He's behind him, and he turns into a werewolf, and he kills the sheriff. Anyways, so then we get to the end of this shit, right? So after the sheriff goes missing and never shows up again, they have to do something because Marty knows that this werewolf knows that he's a werewolf. He knows that Mr. Priest is coming for him eventually to silence him and end this fucking thing. So they make a silver bullet. They tell the uncle, make a silver bullet for us. So he does it. Reluctantly, he does it. He doesn't want to do it. He does it. He's embarrassed to do it, but he does it. And, that's what you should do. So he makes the bullet. They sit home one night waiting for this werewolf to show, and he shows. It's creepy how he shows. It's good, but, he busts through a wall, and look, this is what you get. A teddy bear, you know what I mean? A nice teddy bear that I want to pet, That's what you get. And, yeah, kind of costume. Anyways, whatever the fuck. They tried. It's 95, and they fucking, up to this point, you see it, whatever. They kill him. They kill him with a silver bullet. They're eventually able to kill him. Marty kills him, shoots him dead. He turns back to the priest, of course. It's a cool little transformation. Whatever. It's not fuck. It's cool. It's a cool transformation for the time. Back to the priest. He's human, and that's it. His sister thanks Marty, and end of story. Cut the curtains on that. So yeah, check out Silver Bullet, guys. It's a good movie. Thanks for watching.